Have you ever looked at your blood sugar reading and wondered, how can it still be this high? I skipped dessert. I barely ate any sugar. So what am I doing wrong? If you've asked yourself that question, you're far from alone. Every day, millions of adults over 60 make healthy choices, yet their blood sugar refuses to cooperate. The surprising reason isn't always what they're avoiding. It's often what they're missing. Most people believe controlling blood sugar means saying goodbye to bread, fruit, or every food they enjoy. But modern research tells a much more encouraging story. Certain everyday foods can actually help your body use sugar more efficiently instead of simply allowing it to build up in your bloodstream. And one of the most powerful foods on today's list is probably already sitting in your kitchen. A few months ago, I met a retired school teacher named Margaret. She wasn't eating candy. She wasn't drinking soda. Yet every morning her glucose numbers were higher than she expected. She felt frustrated because she believed she was doing everything right. What finally made the difference wasn't an expensive supplement or a strict diet. It was understanding how her body responded to certain foods and making a few simple changes she could actually stick with. One important thing to remember is that no single food can cure diabetes or replace prescribed treatment. But nutrition can play a powerful role in supporting healthy blood sugar levels, especially when it's combined with regular movement, good sleep, stress management, and the advice of your healthcare provider. Today, I'll explain the science in plain English so you understand why these foods may help, not just what to eat. Some of the foods we'll discuss may help reduce sharp spikes after meals. Others work more quietly, supporting your body's insulin sensitivity over weeks and months. And by the end of this video, I'll show you a simple way to combine several of these foods into everyday meals that are realistic, satisfying, and easy to maintain. Let's begin with one of the most underrated foods for healthy blood sugar: legumes. That includes lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans. Many people avoid them because they contain carbohydrates. But that's exactly where an important misunderstanding begins. Not all carbohydrates affect your body the same way. Think of fiber like a traffic officer directing cars through a busy intersection. Instead of allowing sugar to rush into your bloodstream all at once, the fiber in legumes helps slow digestion. This gives your body more time to respond, leading to a steadier rise in blood sugar rather than a sharp spike. For many people, that means feeling fuller for longer and avoiding the energy crash that often follows a high-carbohydrate meal. Legumes also contain plant protein and minerals that support overall metabolic health. Research has found that regularly replacing refined carbohydrates with high-fiber legumes can improve blood sugar control over time. While results vary from person to person, these foods can become a valuable part of a balanced eating pattern, especially for people living with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Try adding a half cup of lentil soup to lunch, tossing chickpeas into a salad, or replacing part of your white rice with beans a few times each week. Small, consistent changes are often easier to maintain than dramatic diets that last only a few days. But here's something that surprises many people. Even if you choose healthy carbohydrates, one common ingredient sitting in almost every kitchen can help slow how quickly those carbohydrates affect your blood sugar. And it's probably something you've walked past hundreds of times without realizing its hidden potential. The next food isn't really a food at all, it's apple cider vinegar. You've probably heard bold claims about it online. Some promise miraculous blood sugar control overnight. The truth is much more interesting and much more realistic. Used appropriately, apple cider vinegar may help reduce the blood sugar rise that follows certain meals, but it's not magic, and it's certainly not a replacement for healthy eating or prescribed medication. Imagine your digestive system as a busy highway after lunchtime. Carbohydrates are being broken down and released into the bloodstream. The natural acids in vinegar may help slow part of that process, allowing glucose to enter the bloodstream more gradually. Instead of one large wave, your body receives smaller waves that are often easier to manage. If your healthcare professional says it's appropriate for you, a small amount of diluted apple cider vinegar before a carbohydrate-rich meal may be one option to discuss. However, vinegar isn't suitable for everyone. It may irritate the stomach, affect tooth enamel if used improperly, and it can interact with certain medical conditions or treatments. That's why it's always wise to ask your doctor before making it part of your routine. Here's one mistake I see far too often. People hear that a food may support healthy blood sugar, so they assume more must be better. But that's rarely how nutrition works. Real health isn't built by chasing miracle ingredients. It's built by combining smart food choices, regular physical activity, quality sleep, and consistency over time. That's where lasting progress happens. Now, the next food may be one of the simplest upgrades you can make in your kitchen. It's rich, flavorful, and has been studied for its potential role in both heart health and blood sugar control. But choosing the wrong type could mean missing many of its benefits. Let's take a closer look. When most people think about lowering blood sugar, fat is usually the last thing that comes to mind. But not all fats are created equal. One of the healthiest choices you can make may already be in your pantry. Extra virgin olive oil. Used as part of a balanced diet, it doesn't lower blood sugar like a medication, but it can help create a healthier environment inside your body, making it easier for your cells to respond to insulin over time. Think of your cells like doors that insulin needs to unlock. Over the years, chronic inflammation can make those locks stiff and difficult to open. Extra virgin olive oil contains natural plant compounds called polyphenol that may help reduce inflammation, allowing those locks to work more smoothly. When your cells respond better to insulin, your body can manage blood sugar more effectively. One reason the Mediterranean eating pattern continues to receive so much attention is that it isn't based on one miracle food. It combines vegetables, beans, whole grains, healthy fats, fish, and regular physical activity. Extra virgin olive oil is simply one important piece of that larger lifestyle. That's a valuable reminder. Your health improves through habits working together, not through a single ingredient. If you decide to buy olive oil, pay attention to the label. Look for extra virgin olive oil, preferably in a dark bottle to help protect it from light. Use it to dress salads, drizzle over cooked vegetables, or finish soups. While it can be used in many cooking methods, avoid thinking that adding large amounts of olive oil to an otherwise unhealthy diet will somehow cancel out poor eating habits. Now let's move to something almost everyone has in their kitchen. It smells wonderful, tastes comforting, and has been studied for its potential role in blood sugar control. But there's one important detail about this spice that many people never hear, and choosing the wrong type could make a big difference. Cinnamon has been used in kitchens around the world for centuries. More recently, researchers have explored whether certain natural compounds in cinnamon may help the body respond to insulin more effectively. Some studies suggest it may modestly improve blood sugar control in certain people when used consistently as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. But it's important to keep those expectations realistic. It's a helper, not a cure. Imagine insulin as a friendly delivery driver carrying packages of glucose. When your cells become resistant, it's like nobody answers the door. Cinnamon may help improve how those cells respond to insulin, making those deliveries a little more efficient. It's a simple way to picture a very complex biological process. One of the easiest ways to enjoy cinnamon is by adding a small amount to foods you already eat, such as oatmeal, plain yogurt, or baked apples. There's no need to take large amounts or expensive supplements. In fact, more isn't always better. Healthy habits succeed because they're easy enough to repeat day after day. Here's something many people don't realize. There are different types of cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon generally contains much lower levels of coumarin, a naturally occurring compound that can be a concern when consumed in high amounts over long periods. If you regularly use cinnamon, it's worth learning which variety you're buying. And if you're taking blood-thinning medications or managing other medical conditions, check with your healthcare provider before making significant changes. A gentleman once told me, "Doctor, I kept searching for one magic food that would fix everything. But after a few months, he realized something important. His numbers improved not because of one ingredient, but because he built a routine. He started walking after dinner, added more fiber to his meals, improved his sleep, and made healthier breakfast choices. None of those changes were dramatic on their own. Together, they became powerful. If someone tells you a single food will reverse diabetes in 3 days, be cautious. Your body is much more complex than that. Blood sugar is influenced by your age, activity level, sleep, stress, medications, genetics, and overall eating pattern. Real improvement usually comes from consistent habits, not dramatic promises. That's exactly why evidence-based advice is so valuable. Let me ask you something. Which meal gives you the biggest challenge? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Many people notice that one meal seems to push their blood sugar much higher than the others. Share your answer in the comments. You might be surprised to discover that many other viewers are facing the very same challenge, and your experience could encourage someone else. So far, we've talked about foods that may help smooth out blood sugar after meals. But the next food works in a different way. Instead of focusing mainly on today's glucose reading, it helps support the underlying health of your body over time. And that's exactly why many experts consider it one of the smartest long-term investments for healthy aging. The next food doesn't just support blood sugar, it may also benefit your heart, brain, and overall health as you age. If your goal isn't simply to lower one number on a glucose meter, but to stay active and independent for years to come, you won't want to miss what's coming next. If you're hoping for a food that instantly drops your blood sugar by tomorrow morning, this probably isn't it. But if your goal is to give your body a better chance of staying healthy over the next 5, 10, or even 20 years, fatty fish deserves a place on your plate. Sometimes the most powerful improvements happen quietly, long before you notice them on your glucose meter. Think of insulin resistance like a small fire burning inside your body. You may not see the flames, but over time that inflammation can make it harder for your cells to respond to insulin. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, trout, and mackerel provide omega-3 fats that help support your body's natural anti-inflammatory processes. They don't switch off diabetes, but they may help create healthier conditions for your metabolism over time. One meal won't change your future. One healthy week probably won't either. But imagine replacing 1 or 2 processed dinners each week with a balanced meal that includes fish, vegetables, and healthy fats. Those small choices begin to add up month after month. Healthy aging isn't built on dramatic moments. It's built on consistent habits repeated hundreds of times. What if you don't eat fish? That's perfectly okay. Plant foods like chia seeds, ground flax seeds, and walnuts contain a different type of omega-3 fat. While your body doesn't convert these into the same forms found in fish very efficiently, they're still nutritious foods that can fit into a balanced eating pattern. If you're considering an omega-3 supplement, it's best to discuss the right option with your healthcare provider. Now here's something surprising. One of the biggest opportunities to improve blood sugar isn't hiding in the supplement aisle at all. It's sitting in the produce section, often ignored because it doesn't sound exciting. Yet these simple green vegetables may be doing far more for your health than many people realize. Leafy green vegetables are among the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat. They're naturally low in calories, rich in fiber, and packed with vitamins and minerals your body needs every day. But their biggest strength isn't what they contain, it's what they help replace. Every time you fill half your plate with colorful vegetables, there's naturally less room for highly processed foods that often send blood sugar soaring. Picture your dinner plate as a team. Vegetables provide fiber, lean protein helps you stay satisfied, and quality carbohydrates give your body energy. When those teammates work together, your meal is usually digested more gradually than a plate filled mostly with refined starches. It's not about eliminating carbohydrates, it's about creating better balance. One challenge many older adults face is believing healthy eating has to be expensive. But frozen spinach, broccoli, mixed vegetables, and other frozen options can be just as nutritious as fresh ones. They're often more affordable, last longer, and make it much easier to prepare healthy meals even on busy days or when cooking for just one person. I remember speaking with a grandmother who loved cooking for her family every Sunday. She worried that healthier meals meant giving up the traditions everyone enjoyed. Instead of changing everything, she simply added more vegetables, reduced oversized portions of refined starches, and included a source of lean protein. Months later, she proudly told me, "Nobody even complained, and I felt better than I had in years." Sometimes the best changes are the ones your family barely notices. Here's a mistake that holds many people back. They eat one less than perfect meal and think they've failed. But your body doesn't judge you based on one breakfast or one holiday dinner. What matters most is the pattern you create over weeks, months, and years. Progress almost always beats perfection. Now we're coming to one of the easiest snacks you can keep almost anywhere. In your kitchen, your car, or even while traveling. But despite being incredibly convenient, many people avoid it because they're worried about one thing: fat. So let's clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings about healthy snacking. Nuts are rich in healthy fats, plant protein, fiber, magnesium, and other nutrients that support overall health. Because they digest more slowly than many processed snack foods, they can help you feel satisfied for longer. That may make it easier to avoid reaching for sugary snacks later in the day. Like every food we've discussed, they're not a miracle, but they can be part of a smarter eating pattern. By now, you've probably noticed something important. None of these foods work because they're magical. They work because each one supports your body in a different way. But there's one final piece of the puzzle that many people completely overlook, and without it, even the healthiest foods may not deliver the results you're hoping for. Let's bring everything together. By now, you've probably realized something important. None of these 7 foods is a miracle on its own. If there were one magical ingredient that permanently solved high blood sugar, diabetes wouldn't affect millions of people around the world. The real power comes from combining several healthy habits that work together. Just like members of a team, each supporting the others. Think of blood sugar control like building a sturdy house. Healthy foods are the walls, but they can't stand without a strong foundation. Regular movement, quality sleep, stress management, and following your treatment plan are the foundation that keeps everything else standing. Remove one piece and the whole structure becomes less stable. One of the simplest habits you can try, if it's safe for you, is taking a short walk after a meal. Even 10 to 15 minutes of gentle movement can help your muscles use some of the glucose circulating in your bloodstream. You don't need to walk fast or far. The goal isn't athletic performance. The goal is consistency. Here's an easy way to picture it. Your muscles are like storage rooms. When you move your body, those rooms open up and become more willing to take in glucose for energy. That's one reason physical activity plays such an important role in supporting healthy blood sugar. Food and movement are partners, they work best together. Many people think skipping meals will automatically lower blood sugar. But for some individuals, especially those taking diabetes medications, skipping meals may actually create new problems. It can lead to low blood sugar in some situations or leave you so hungry later that you overeat. A balanced eating pattern is usually much easier to maintain than extreme restrictions. Another common mistake is focusing only on solid foods while forgetting what you're drinking. Sweetened beverages, specialty coffees, and fruit drinks can add large amounts of sugar very quickly. Choosing water, sparkling water without added sugar, or unsweetened tea more often is a simple change that many people find surprisingly effective. Don't let marketing fool you. Labels like natural, low-fat, or made with whole grains don't automatically make a product blood sugar friendly. Take a few extra seconds to read the nutrition label, especially the added sugars, fiber, and serving size. Small habits like this become easier every time you practice them. Success doesn't come from having perfect willpower every day. It often comes from making healthy choices easier. Keeping frozen vegetables in the freezer, cooking a batch of lentil soup, washing fresh fruit ahead of time, or preparing tomorrow's lunch the night before can make healthy eating the easier choice when life gets busy. So what could an ordinary day look like? Breakfast might include plain Greek yogurt topped with berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a handful of walnuts. Lunch could be a colorful salad with grilled chicken, olive oil, and chickpeas. Dinner might feature baked salmon, steamed vegetables, and a modest serving of whole grains or beans. Notice something? Nothing is extreme. These are ordinary foods prepared in a balanced way. Remember, progress isn't measured by one glucose reading. It's measured by the direction you're moving over time. Some days will be better than others, and that's completely normal. Focus on building habits you can maintain for months and years, not just until next Monday. Let's quickly review what we've learned today. High-fiber legumes help slow digestion and support steadier blood sugar. Apple cider vinegar may help reduce blood sugar spikes when used appropriately. Extra virgin olive oil supports overall metabolic health. Cinnamon may modestly improve insulin sensitivity. Fatty fish supports long-term health through healthy fats. Leafy green vegetables add fiber and nutrients while replacing less nutritious foods. And nuts provide satisfying nutrition that can support healthier eating patterns. Here's the truth I hope you remember long after this video ends. Healthy blood sugar isn't just about a number on a screen. It's about protecting your eyesight, your kidneys, your heart, your brain, and your ability to enjoy everyday moments with the people you love. Every healthy choice you make today is an investment in those future memories. You don't need to change everything this week. In fact, I'd encourage you not to. Choose just 1 or 2 ideas from today's video and put them into practice. Once those become part of your routine, add another. Small steps repeated consistently are often far more powerful than dramatic changes that are impossible to maintain. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 foods do you already enjoy? And which one are you planning to add to your meals this week? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience could encourage someone else who's beginning the same journey. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more evidence-informed videos about healthy aging, heart health, nutrition, mobility, and living well after 60. Every week, we focus on practical information designed to help you stay active, independent, and confident in your health decisions. And one final reminder before you go. This video is for educational purposes and isn't a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you have diabetes, take prescription medications, or have other medical conditions, always discuss significant dietary changes with your healthcare professional. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me today. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and remember, lasting health is built one small, consistent choice at a time. I'll see you in the next video.